All right, let's go to question number 2. And we have all 20 questions. They're already loaded. I'm just going to work through them now as quick as I can. Well, without doing disservice to your questions. If I don't feel edified, this is from Josh Matthias, who says, if I don't feel edified by the watered down milk preaching at my local church, is it wrong to give less money to the local church and give more money to online ministries that I spend hours listening to? No, I don't see that that's wrong. So the only thing I want to suggest is, okay, well, I'll say a couple things. One, there is no set amount of money that you're supposed to give to your local church. I think we should consider it something like a communal effort. Am I doing my part to help my local fellowship to accomplish the things they're called to do? So to help see that the staff is getting paid, that the building is getting cleaned, and that things are in working order, that there's enough money to replace that broken item, that kind of thing, to see that our outreach opportunities are there, that kind of thing. Now, if you have a church, in my opinion, if your church is like super good at organizing large scale outreaches and is really effective in doing ministry and outreach and various different things, and the people on staff are like getting good work done, I want to give more money to that church. If I feel like they're not doing a very good job, it's not like I'm trying to punish them by giving less. It's just that I want to be wise with my investments, my money, and I want to make sure that I'm giving to people who I think are doing a good job so that I can see that dollar get stretched further for the kingdom of God. So I want to see good money management in that regard. The one thing I'll add though on this is I don't want to go to a church and use the AC and the heating and the janitorial staff and the bathrooms and all the commodities that are there. I don't want to use all that stuff and then not even give the church enough money to like replace the cost they put out just for me to attend. And I'm talking about people who you belong to the church. You're not just a guest. I think guests, we don't want them to feel like any burden to give. I don't anyway. So yeah, that's where you say, should I give less? Well, it depends on what you mean by less. Are you helping to support the staff? Are you doing what you can? And the final thing I'd add into this is everything changes when you're poor. Because when you don't have the funds, you can't be like, am I doing my part? And you're like, look, I just don't have the funds. And even in the law of the Old Testament, God had like these, hey, if you commit this sin, here's the exact sacrifice to bring. And then he'd be like, but if you're poor, here's a really cheap version. And he'd be like, bring like a turtle dove, bring like a dove. It's like the cheapest thing you could sacrifice. What I'm suggesting is that there's a extra layer of consideration on all the giving that goes on in the church, in that the poor are expected to give less, and we should not care. And the rich are expected to give more. I'm not talking about tax. Like if you bring this into the realm of government enforced giving through taxation, that is not what we're talking about. I'm talking here about using the gifts God's given you. And I think that there's an expectation there that we do those things.